So you might ask, who is this person? What do they look like? I like to say around 3 to 5 years of experience. They're not new, but they're not seasoned and been around super long to where they don't really care about your lead source. They're usually pretty hungry. A perfect relationship is somebody that was a real estate agent in another market. Maybe they moved across the country. They have the track record of understanding how to be an agent, how to do lead gen, all that sort of stuff. Now, how do you actually monetize it once you've found that agent? Like, what is the system we use?
Welcome to the Collecting Keys Friday Focus.
Hey there. Welcome back to another episode of the Collecting Keys Friday Focus. Today, I'll be your host, Dan Austin, and I want to talk about how you can maximize your profits by partnering with the right real estate agent. I'll say this again, the right real estate agent. And I'll talk about how you pick that partnership or how you pick that agent. You yourself might be an agent, but 9 out of 10 times, I will tell you, it's still better to have a real estate agent. If you're wholesaling and running a real estate investment business and you're doing flipping and all that sort of stuff, the amount of time it takes to do the real estate agent work properly, whether that's listing your own properties, tracking down MLS retail type leads, converting them, doing open houses, all that other, the value of that is so much lower than if you can go and chase down another wholesale deal. I'll give you an example. If you get a house, $300,000 house, you get a listing agreement out of it, or it's a flip and you're selling it, your portion of that commission is $9,000. It's good money, right? But it's $9,000 after, and you got all your expenses associated with that. So whatever it is after that, you could wholesale a property, $300,000 property for $20,000 all day long. Our average fee is $20-something thousand, right? And so the math works out in the favor of chasing down your investment stuff and referring out this work because you're still going to monetize it. And I will talk about that later as well, like how you monetize it. Anyhow, I'm a real estate agent. I used to do this for our business and it just became so much time consuming. And that was one of the benefits I found was like being able to refer to somebody else, the time freedom you get to focus on higher value tasks in your business. So much more powerful. Other benefit you get, from these partnerships is lead gen. So I just got a call like 2 days ago from an agent saying, hey, I had a listing appointment. It's actually a few doors down to a project you guys did last year. Sellers need a rent back. The house is kind of crummy. It needs a little bit of work. Would you guys be open to potentially putting an offer on this place? Absolutely. That cost me no money. It was an easy conversation, teed up for me. Let's go check it out. You also get open up to like investor buyers as well. A lot of agents will have investor buyers, cash buyers that might not otherwise be on your wholesale, your dispo list or anything like that. So keep that in mind. Also, if you're newer in the business, they can help you do some market analysis, run comps on things. I would be selective on what I send them. It's unfair to send a real estate agent all of your leads and say, can you comp this for me? Give me the ARV. Don't do that. It's a waste of their time. And you need to learn it yourself anyhow. But the most important thing I want to talk about is lead monetization. This partnership can help you convert what you wanted to be cash deals or off-market deals, but you couldn't, into retail listings where you can collect a 25% referral fee. And that's the key right there. We're going to take some time talking about here in a minute. First, I want to talk about how do you pick the right agent to maximize the profits so you can collect all those referral fees. First, I'm going to tell you right now, everybody's instinct is to go track down that newbie agent, that young agent that's ready to hustle, needs a cold call, and doesn't have a lead source yet. Don't do it. We've tried it many times. It does not work. First, that newbie agent is not tested. The risk of you're giving them your lead you've paid for, and the risk of them not even being an agent in a few months is high. The risk of them realizing they don't like calling people, they don't know how to do sales, they don't know anything about real estate, they hate it, they quit, way too high for you to be wasting your time and money on. Definitely opportunity there with these newer agents because some of them do turn in to be young, hungry, awesome people. So I'm not saying it's not possible. It's just unlikely. On the flip side, don't go after the super highly successful agent that's all over all the billboards and has the biggest brand name because they will tell you that they want your leads because they're smart. They're going to take any lead source they can, but they already have referral clients, repeat clients. They're paying for their own leads. They're crushing it. They understand how to do lead gen. And so yours is just going to fit into their system. Ours, let's be honest, it's a little bit harder of a lead source to convert. And so they're going to spend less time on your stuff. We've tried it. It just doesn't work. Not that you shouldn't have the relationship with them. Again, don't waste your valuable leads that you paid for on somebody that's not going to give it its full attention. So you might ask, who is this person? What do they look like? I like to say around 3 to 5 years of experience. They're not new, but they're not seasoned and been around super long to where they don't really care about your lead source. They're usually pretty hungry. A perfect relationship is somebody that was a real estate agent in another market. Maybe they moved across the country. and they have enough confidence in their abilities to basically build a whole new business here in your hometown. They have the track record of understanding how to be an agent, how to do lead gen, all that sort of stuff. So they're a great person to sign up for because they're kind of in that new, will take on your lead source and give it all the time it needs, but they're, not newbie figuring it out for the first time. So I would say that would be a great persona of a person, but anybody that with 3 to 5 years of experience, somebody that's not out there posting on Instagram how they're always grinding and hustling, taking pictures of themselves with their laptop on their boat. Like, let's be honest, the people that are saying that rarely hustle and grind. They rarely like to do the sales that you're going to need them to do. So don't waste your time there. Get that person who's just killing it, but isn't going over the top with anything crazy. And if they have to tell you that they're hustler or grinders, they're probably not. So look for that person that also is somewhat investor friendly. Their name pops up in the investor community. They may not be an investor themselves. They probably represent some investors. They probably represent some flippers and those sorts of people. They get the game. They understand it. I would say some level of experience, 3 to 5 years, investor friendly. They pop up in investor communities. They're not new. They're not OG, freaking super successful. Ideally, they're fresh into your market, but have a lot of experience. So that's that agent selection. Now, how do you actually monetize it once you found that agent? Like, what is the system we use? So outside of all the other benefits of this relationship I talked about, I'm going to specifically talk about monetizing lead conversion. So say you send out 5,000 postcards, you spent $2,500, $3,000 on these postcards to go out. You got a 1% response rate, 50 leads rolled in, maybe about 10% of those. So 5 of those leads could be retail leads. That's about on average. And I would say a good agent should be able to convert one of those leads at least into a retail listing for themselves. So the goal is to get those 5 leads and to transfer them some way to this agent. We've tried just exporting them into a spreadsheet and then the agent gets to call them at their leisure. Didn't work. Honestly, it's just a cold pick up the phone, random person. Why are you calling me? I've got all these people calling me. What the hell's going on? That doesn't work for that reason. Also, there's no real accountability for them. Sometimes they don't want to do cold calling, so they don't do it. We never were very successful in doing it that way. The other way is to get them into your CRM. If you have one that you can actually add them and let them call out of your CRM allows it. We use RE Simply, so we can call out, track calls, track texts, all that sort of stuff. And the leads are already in there. So that's great. One thing I'll say is don't just turn them loose on a bunch of leads. Say you've got 200 backlogged dead leads, 500 dead leads. Just go cold call those people. Yes, there will be a time and place for that, but we need to look at monetizing these leads as soon as they come in, as soon as we've looked at them and said, yeah, this is not going to work for me as a wholesale lead, and then do a warm transfer. We've let them just turn loose on our dead leads before any leads coming in without a warm transfer or anything like that. Still, it didn't work that great. There's definitely money to be made there depending on the agent's ability to cold call, but it's not the best use yet. So what you need to do, if you can get them in your CRM, give them a tee up in a warm transfer. You say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we could give you, I don't even want to offer this to you. We could give you $100,000. I know it's way less than you want, cash offer. You're probably not interested in that, right? You kind of go through your sales pitch there. And if it pivots and it's not going to work out, be like, hey, we have an agent we work with all the time and clients in your situation. We'd love to set you up an appointment. Can they just give you a call? Just a quick 15-minute discussion to see if they're the right person to list your property, because they will get you way more money than we can give you. How does that sound? Awesome. Okay, Tuesday at 2 p.m. That work? You have a Calendly link for this agent. Boom, book just a 15-minute phone call. And then now they've got a tee up, a warm transfer. The sellers know their name. They know they're calling. They're likely to answer the phone. And then the real estate agent from there can do their follow-up sequence. They can do all of that sort of stuff. And now they have such an easier time converting those leads because you've transferred it. Now, you do have all these other leads backlogged that are marked dead or whatever happened before you even partner with this real estate agent. Absolutely put them on to cold call those, but help them out. Be ready to help manage that track, looking at call notes and sort of those sorts of things to help them understand that relationship maybe you had with that seller at some point, and definitely help them. And as much as you help them, the more successful they can be. Don't just think throwing them to the wolves, really throwing them to these leads that they're going to just magically convert something. The more you help them, the better they're going to be in that transition. So I'll leave it with that. I think being able to monetize this system is so valuable to you because, like Mike and I said, I think in our last podcast, or a podcast coming up anyways, I think it dropped last Wednesday, we have 6 figures in our CRM at any given time in real estate referral commissions And so most people have some value depending on how many leads you have in your system. You're going to be able to minimum pay for your marketing spend just by converting some of these and getting those 25% referral fees. So focus on this, take the time. Let me know if you have any questions on how you can do this, if I left any gaps in the systems we use, but really just keep in mind that the closer you are with these leads and the warmer the handoffs you can give to these agents, the better. So other than that, hit me up on Instagram if you have questions, InvestorManDan. If you want to know more about our Instant Investor program, go to collectingkeyspodcast.com. Click on the Instant Investor button, and you can look at all 3 tiers that we have for our clients. It's pretty awesome, some of the stuff that we can provide. So without further ado, have a great weekend and talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to this Collecting Keys Friday Focus. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts.